Hi, everyone, and thank you for your interest in the Mission to Moon program. My name is Natasha Wilkerson, and I wanted to give you an overview of how this program looks and if it's a good fit for your class or your after-school club in the spring. I'm also going to go over some of the tools that we use. So even if you decide not to use our program, these might be some good tricks and tips on enhancing your distance learning programs. A little bit about who I am. I have a background in aerospace engineering. I'm also pursuing a graduate degree in science education. My current role is both with Communities in Schools of San Antonio, a nonprofit where I work as a STEM director, as well as co-founder of Vivify, a STEM resource company. You can see some of the adventures I've had in STEM education, where I made the shift from working as an engineer to being a full-time educator that really I'm passionate about getting kids excited about engineering and science careers. The core of what I do is centered around Space Club. I started this program back in 2014 in 4 schools on the south side of San Antonio with this mission to get kids inspired and want to pursue STEM through the lens of space exploration. I took kids to NASA on a big field trip. We've hosted STEM family nights. We've run colony competitions. But we've made the big shift now from those 4 initial schools to having over 100 schools join in this program around Space Club. But the biggest challenge has been shifting what we did as an in-person programming. So I was going to these schools in person. I had other instructors that were delivering hands-on engineering challenges in person. But because of COVID, we had to shift to a virtual model. But my goal was to keep these core components: student relationships, hands-on engineering design, real-world career and current events, as well as 21st century skills like communication and teamwork. And the big question was, is this even possible in a virtual environment? Well, we've learned a lot in the past 9-10 months that we've been doing this since COVID hit, and we were scrambling to keep kids engaged. And I'm really excited to say that from the fall, we've had a lot of success in trying out different tools. And here are some of the results of the projects that students have completed through this Mission to Moon STEM programming. So I want to walk you through 4 different components of the program, from assigning the challenges, how we facilitate teamwork, how we incentivize and engage kids, and then how we do presentations. One of the videos here I want to play is of a student at home who was sharing their roller coaster design.
I updated my roller coaster. It has way more turns and more track. Probably way faster, so let's hope it works. Back into the cup. Pretty good.
All right, so this is the very first mission that the students were working on, and then every week we get more advanced. We do rovers and robotic hands, and the final project is this lunar base. So the presentations get a lot more advanced as we go. So how we assign these challenges. First, we're going to give you a supply list. So if you're part of the program, you're going to see the supplies that kids need. And to make it fair, because my students, Title I kids, low income, might not have access to everything other students will. So it'll have everything from pencil and paper and scissors to some motors and batteries that they'll need for some of the challenges. We also give them printed handouts. So being part of this program, you're going to get access to all of this to have ready to go. It's meant to be a very low prep program on your end. And you can have the kids work on these handouts at home with a printed journal. We also provide versions of a digital STEM journal if you're using Google Slides, Google Classroom. So let me show you what that journal looks like. So this is one of the missions. This is a rover challenge. The kids will first watch an overview of what the mission looks like. Then there's an in-depth engineering instructional video that really is a deep dive into how to do the activities. They'll review the mission, which is to design and build a rover to transport rock samples. Here are the materials they need. And then this page, they will do the activity. They can take notes on, is it meeting all the design constraints? And then they can reflect directly on this journal. And this is a way that you can have accountability on if the students are completing the activities. Now, another tool that we use, which I love, is Flipgrid. So that same activity we assign through Flipgrid. It's an app that kids can download or use on a tablet, a phone, a Chromebook, whatever device. And you can see here, it has the exact same activities. You can also link the digital STEM journal. And then they have this little pump up video we'll have each week. And I'm going to play you a part of it so you can see the video, get a sense of the content.
Opportunity, curiosity, perseverance. So what exactly do these three things have in common? Well, they're all names of rovers. So a rover is a type of robot that travels on the surface of another planet like the moon or even Mars. NASA has been sending rovers to space since 2003 to conduct preliminary research of planets and to send information back to Earth for humans to study. This helps humans be prepared for what they might encounter when they do go to the moon or Mars. For the Artemis mission, NASA will be sending the Viper rover in 2022, and it will go to the south pole of the moon to get a close-up view of the location and a concentration of water ice that could eventually be harvested to sustain human exploration on the moon, Mars, and beyond. For today's mission, you will be transporting the rock samples you collected in your last mission back to your home base. However, these rock samples are a little too heavy and you can't carry them. So today you'll need to use your electrical engineering skills to build a rover to transport our samples back to home. So some things to think about is how will you power your rover and how will you transport the samples back to your base. But be warned, this rover might not behave the way you want it to. You will need to be adaptable by being resourceful and overcoming unexpected challenges. Best of luck getting those precious rock samples back to Earth.
All right, so that's every week we have a 1-2 minute little intro video that's from who we call Mission Control. That's us just getting the kids excited about the activity. And then we have a longer instructional video.
I'm aerospace engineer Claire Meshkat. Today we are going to talk about autonomous vehicles, robots, rovers, and how you can be a robotics engineer.
So these are videos you can play in their classroom or assign to students to watch at home. It includes an interview with a robotics engineer from Southwest Research talking about the work that he's doing. So we have the real world, a career connection here. We also talk about robotics vehicles on the moon and Mars. And then we also walk them through the engineering design challenge, including any science connections that are needed. So this one, they need to know about open and closed circuits. We walk them through it. We show them how to use the supplies to complete the challenge. And then we walk them through the design process. So this is about a 10 to 15 minute video each week that gives the full instruction of what, if I were in person, what I would do is all put into a video for you. So again, low prep, easy to implement. Now with Flipgrid, they will then go and upload a video response. So once they've done the rover challenge, they will go here and record their response. Here are some of the submissions from students. We have kids from all over the country that participated. You can see all sorts of designs. So these are open-ended challenges. You're not going to have the same design for every kid, and that's what I love about engineering challenges. Let me show you a clip of one of these activities.
The way that I made the rover is I cut a cup in half, and then I cut up 2 bendy straws to the correct size, and I made a hole in the cup on either side, and then I poked the straws into.
So that's a little taste of one of the students' submissions that is part of the program. All right, now teamwork. So Flipgrid is where the kids can work individually, so you can assign these in your class. The students can work on these challenges independently, whether in their living room, their bedroom, or even in your classroom, working independently. Now, the teamwork part happens through another platform called Goose Chase. This is a free app. It can be on your student's phone, a tablet. There's also a Chromebook extension, and they will have different supplemental questions that they need to answer as a team. I'm going to walk you through what that app looks like. So they'll download it on their phone, and then they join the game. Here you can see a list of all the different questions for week 6, which was the Rover Challenge week. There's 500 points, 400 points. You can see they get incentives here. And it links to those same videos, so they have the chance to watch that mission intro video and then answer a question related. So making sure they're actually paying attention. Do they know the name of the rover? Answering here, and then they can submit as evidence that they have completed that activity. We do weekly career chats. So this week we interviewed that robotics engineer. Here's his background, and kids can answer or ask a question to be featured at the chat. We do space fun questions, so it's different trivia and current events related to space exploration. We do a science connection. This one was on circuitry. I also attach links that are videos or websites they can learn more about that science content and submit their response. We also have them submit their engineering challenge. So working in teams, they'll pick their one top design from, say, 6 members, and they'll take a video that's specifically for Goose Chase that teams from all over the country can look and see, and I'll show you in a second. We also do an Our Team, so it's a team building activity, thinking about if you're an engineering company, what challenge would you work on and why? So that gives you a little taste of what those weekly Goose Chase activities are. And here's the feed. So this is a live feed that's running 24/7. They can check it whenever they want. And you get a sense of, oh, wow, look, there's this team here in Texas that built this project. This was from our final mission, a lunar base. And they had to use an LED light to light it up. You can see their different questions. This was a space fun submission. I also have some that are hidden, and I can give bonus points. I can like them. And then they love the leaderboard. Who's in first place? Who's in second place? And this is showing this community of Space Club teams. And I have notifications if I need to remind them, hey, Space Club Career Chat's happening in 30 minutes. Here's the link. It's a way that I can communicate directly with the students. And finally, this is their team page showing all their submissions and any points that they got or lost as part of the program. Okay, and so why do they want to get points? Well, the fun part is the raffle prizes. Every week, teams need to get a certain threshold of points to be entered in a raffle drawing. This raffle happens the following week. So week 1, they're creating a mission patch, and then they're submitting it through Goose Chase. And then the next Wednesday, I'm going to host a live Space Club career chat. Our last one of my favorites in the fall was with NASA astronaut Gregory Shamatov. He spent about 6 months on the International Space Station. The kids were able to submit questions, and they could watch the live interview and see their questions featured. At the end of the interview, we do a raffle. This is live. So if your teams get that threshold, I put all the team names into something called Picker Wheel. I hit go, it spins. It's really exciting. And then we give away cool stuff like this robot hand, 3D printers, NASA swag, Sphero robots, telescopes. Every week is something different. And it keeps kids excited and motivated. And then I also love showing students some of the top designs every week. We've found that kids love to have recognition for their projects. And so we do a quick highlights video that I'll play here from the Robot Hand Challenge, so you can get a sense of some of the schools that participated last year, as well as some of the designs from one of the missions. And finally, presentations. I've been giving you a sense of how students are communicating their designs. The focus with Flipgrid is individual submissions. So in Flipgrid, you are running this. It is your class Flipgrid group, and kids are individually submitting their Flipgrid designs. And so other Space Club sites will not have access to your Flipgrid board. You can use that for grading, for giving feedback, for building a community inside Flipgrid. Goose Chase is for all Space Club sites. And so everyone who is part of the Space Club Mission to Moon will see whatever is uploaded there. And I love getting to see these presentations, whether it's Flipgrid or Goose Chase, by the students. Here's one from a team in Creekside Academy in Georgia that submitted.
So here's our lunar base from a distance. This is with all the lights on, but I'm going to go into a more depth review of what I've built and the team. So let's go ahead and turn the lights on. Okay, so I was assigned the greenhouse, and then we all four of us, there's 4 people on our.
So what he's doing is walking through all the different parts. This was from a school doing it in person. And then you can see at the bottom, those are presentations from kids that were at home. For the lunar colony, we had teams, each member built a zone on the lunar base. And some teams that were virtual, they created a virtual lunar colony and presented on Zoom. So there's a lot of ways that you can incorporate communication and presentation. So I hope that gives you a good overview of what Mission to Moon looks like. Now, some of the logistics. Our program initially was intended for informal after school, but we found that this has been a great fit for STEM educators. About half of the teams participating in the fall were Project Lead the Way teachers or STEM elective teachers, and they used it as their core content. And so their focus for those 9 sessions was this Mission to Moon curriculum. We're aligned to the Next Generation Science Standards, TEKS if you're in Texas. The focus is on engineering design principles. And you can see here what the schedule looks like. Every week, we release the missions on a Sunday, so you have a chance to get a sneak peek, and then you can do the activities anytime during the week, on a Monday, on a Tuesday, whenever your class meets, or if your kids are working at home, they have the entire week to complete these activities. Our career chats are every Wednesday, but those are recorded. And so you can watch them the next day, on Friday, if you want to save them and show them later. You will have access to all the content to put it on at your own pace. The reason to stay on this schedule is Goose Chase. Your team will need to hit certain thresholds in order to be eligible for those weekly raffle prizes. And so we're hoping teams will stay on track. And we know things are going to happen like spring break, testing, other things outside of our control. So we've added breaks throughout for you to catch up if you're behind on a mission, if you need more time. We strategically put these on missions that might need a little bit of extra time to prepare. So that's our schedule. For grades, I've gotten a lot of questions here. I really recommend these activities from 4th grade to 8th grade. We give modifications throughout to adapt it to different levels. You could do it with 3rd and under, but you're going to need a lot more support in using scissors to cut things, to create some of these complicated, maybe the rover challenge. The robot hand one especially is difficult for the younger students. I'm not saying it isn't possible, but that's my experience. 4th through 8th grade is really the target audience here. And finally, our registration is ending February 5th. So jump on it, join us. Here's my contact information with CIS and Wilkerson at cissa.org. And you can connect with me through Vivify. We have an educators group called the STEM Space. So we hope to see you on our mission to the moon.